Hey there, amazing language learners. Welcome back to English EdX, the podcast that gives you real, practical strategies to transform your English. I'm your host, Emma, and I am so pumped to share today's episode with you because we're talking about a technique that literally changed my entire accent, my pronunciation, and my speaking confidence in just weeks. Have you ever listened to yourself speak English and cringed? Have you ever wished you could sound more natural, more fluent, more like the native speakers you admire? Have you ever felt frustrated because no matter how much grammar you study or vocabulary you memorize, you still don't sound quite right when you speak? Well, today I'm revealing the shadowing trick that professional interpreters use, that language coaches teach, and that fluent speakers swear by. And the best part? It takes just 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes to start sounding like a native speaker. 10 minutes to transform your pronunciation, your rhythm, your intonation, and your overall speaking quality. This isn't theory. This is the exact technique I used to go from having a heavy accent that people struggled to understand to speaking English so naturally that people ask if I grew up in an English-speaking country. And I'm going to walk you through every single step so you can start using it today. So get comfortable, grab your phone or whatever device you'll use for practice, and let's unlock this game-changing shadowing technique together. Trust me, 10 minutes from now, you're going to sound better than you ever have before. Let's dive in. First, let me tell you what shadowing actually is, because many people have heard the term but don't really understand the technique. Shadowing is the practice of listening to someone speak and repeating what they say immediately, trying to match everything about how they speak. Not just the words, but the tone, the rhythm, the speed, the emotion, the pauses, the breathing, everything. Imagine you're the shadow of a native English speaker. Your words overlap with theirs. Your mouth moves exactly when theirs moves. Your voice rises and falls exactly when theirs does. You become their mirror, their echo, their linguistic shadow. That's what we're doing, and it's incredibly powerful. Now, you might be thinking, Emma, I've tried repeating after native speakers before, and it didn't help much. I hear you. The difference is, most people do basic repetition, not true shadowing. They listen to a sentence, pause the audio, then repeat. That's helpful, but it's not shadowing. True shadowing means speaking simultaneously with the speaker, matching them in real time. That's where the magic happens. Here's why shadowing works so brilliantly. When you shadow someone, you're training multiple aspects of language at once. You're training your ears to catch every nuance of pronunciation. You're training your mouth muscles to produce sounds you've never made before. You're training your brain to process and produce English at native speed. You're training your rhythm and intonation patterns. And you're doing all of this simultaneously, which creates rapid, integrated learning. Professional interpreters use shadowing because they need to speak multiple languages fluently and naturally. If it's good enough for professionals who work at the United Nations, it's definitely good enough for us. And the research backs this up. Study after study shows that shadowing improves pronunciation, fluency, listening comprehension, and speaking confidence faster than almost any other technique. So let's get into the 10-minute shadowing routine that will transform your English. I've broken this down into a precise, step-by-step process that you can follow every single day. You'll need just 3 things: a device to play audio or video, a quiet space where you can speak out loud, and 10 minutes of uninterrupted time. Step 1. Choose the right content. This is absolutely crucial. You need to select content that's at the right level and has the right characteristics. The speaker should be clear, not too fast, and speaking naturally. My top recommendations are TED Talks, podcast interviews, audiobook narrators, or YouTube videos where someone is speaking directly to the camera. The content should be slightly below your current level. If you're intermediate, don't choose advanced academic lectures. If you're advanced, don't choose beginner content. You want to understand about 70 to 80% of what's being said. This is the sweet spot where learning happens. Length matters too. For your 10-minute practice, you need a clip that's about 2 to 3 minutes long. not longer. You're going to work with this same clip intensively, so shorter is better. Find something engaging and interesting to you. If you like technology, find a tech talk. If you like cooking, find a cooking demonstration. Interest keeps you motivated. Step 2. Listen without shadowing first. This is your warm-up, and it takes about 2 minutes. Play your selected clip from beginning to end without trying to repeat anything. Just listen actively. Pay attention to the speaker's voice quality. Notice where they pause. Notice where their voice goes up or down. Notice their energy and emotion. Notice which words they emphasize and which they say quickly. This listening pass prepares your brain. You're scanning for patterns. You're getting familiar with the content so that when you start shadowing, you're not surprised by what comes next. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Focus on the overall sound, rhythm, and feeling of how they speak. Step 3. Shadow sentence by sentence. This is minutes 3 through 6 of your routine. Now you're going to work through the clip carefully, shadowing one sentence at a time. Play a sentence, pause, and then say that exact sentence out loud, trying to match everything about how the speaker said it. Match their speed. If they speak quickly, you speak quickly. If they speak slowly, you speak slowly. Match their tone. If they sound excited, you sound excited. If they sound serious, you sound serious. Match their pronunciation. If they say gonna instead of going to, you say gonna. If they drop the T sound in 20, you drop it too. You're copying everything, including the informal, natural aspects of their speech. Repeat each sentence 3 to 5 times until you feel like you're matching them closely. Record yourself if possible and compare. This sentence-by-sentence work builds your foundation. You're learning the exact mouth positions, the exact rhythm patterns, the exact sound qualities. Don't rush this step. Quality over speed. Step 4. Shadow in real time without pausing. This is minutes 7 through 9, and this is where the real transformation happens. Now you're going to play the clip from the beginning and shadow the entire thing without pausing. Your voice will overlap with the speaker's voice. You'll be speaking at the exact same time they are. This feels awkward at first. Your instinct is to wait for them to finish, but resist that. Start speaking when they start speaking. If you fall behind, skip ahead and catch up. If you get ahead, slow down and sync back up. The goal is to maintain that overlap, that simultaneous speaking, throughout the entire clip. You'll probably stumble. You'll probably mess up. That's completely normal and expected. Don't stop. Don't restart. Just keep going. Each time you do this, your brain gets better at processing and producing English at native speed. Your mouth gets better at making the movements. Your ears get better at catching the nuances. Do this real-time shadowing pass 2 or 3 times within these 3 minutes. Each pass will be better than the last. You'll feel yourself locking into their rhythm. You'll feel your pronunciation getting clearer. You'll feel your confidence growing. Step 5. Record and reflect. This is your final minute. Record yourself shadowing the clip one more time. Then listen back to your recording. Don't be harsh or critical. Instead, notice 2 things. One thing that sounds really good, and one specific thing you want to improve in tomorrow's practice. Maybe your rhythm matched theirs perfectly. Celebrate that. Maybe your pronunciation of a particular sound needs work. Note that for focused practice. This reflection makes your practice intentional and accelerates your progress. You're not just mindlessly repeating, you're actively improving specific aspects of your speaking. That's the 10-minute shadowing routine. 2 minutes of active listening, 4 minutes of sentence-by-sentence shadowing, 3 minutes of real-time shadowing, and 1 minute of recording and reflection. 10 minutes total. Do this every single day with different clips and watch your speaking transform. Now let me share some pro tips that will make your shadowing even more effective. First, use video when possible, not just audio. When you can see the speaker's mouth, facial expressions, and body language, you absorb more. You see how they form sounds. You see their energy and emotion. This visual input enhances your learning significantly. Second, vary your content. Don't shadow the same person every day. Shadow different accents, different genders, different speaking styles. One day, shadow a British speaker, the next day, an American speaker, then an Australian speaker. This variety makes your English flexible and helps you understand different native accents. Third, shadow content that has transcripts available when you're starting out. Being able to see the words while you hear them helps your brain connect sounds to spelling. Many TED Talks, YouTube videos, and podcasts have transcripts. Use them in your sentence-by-sentence phase, but remove them for your real-time shadowing phase. Fourth, focus on musicality, not just accuracy. English has a rhythm, a music to it. Native speakers use stress, intonation, and rhythm in specific ways. When you shadow, pay as much attention to how words flow together and where emphasis falls as you do to individual word pronunciation. This musicality is what makes you sound natural and fluent. Fifth, don't be afraid to exaggerate. When you're shadowing, especially in the sentence-by-sentence phase, it's actually good to exaggerate the intonation and rhythm. Overdo it. Be dramatic. This helps your mouth and brain learn the patterns more clearly. You can always tone it down later, but in practice, go big. Sixth, shadow different types of content for different skills. If you want to improve your professional speaking, shadow TED Talks or business presentations. If you want to improve casual conversation, shadow sitcoms or vlogs. If you want to improve storytelling, shadow audiobook narrators. Match your content to your goals. Seventh, create a shadowing library. When you find clips that you really enjoy and that are at the perfect level, save them. You can shadow the same excellent clips multiple times over weeks. Each time you return to a clip, you'll notice improvement. You'll catch things you missed before. You'll match more closely. This repetition with excellent models creates mastery. Let me tell you about my personal shadowing journey because I want you to know this really works. When I started learning English seriously, my pronunciation was my biggest weakness. People often asked me to repeat myself. I felt self-conscious every time I spoke. I knew the words, I knew the grammar, but I didn't sound right. Then I discovered shadowing. I started with just 10 minutes a day, shadowing podcast hosts I enjoyed listening to. At first, it was so difficult. My mouth couldn't keep up. My pronunciation was way off. I felt ridiculous speaking along with someone else. But I kept going. After 1 week, I noticed I was catching sounds I'd never heard before. After 2 weeks, my mouth started moving more naturally into the right positions. After a month, people started commenting that my pronunciation had improved. After 3 months, someone asked me how long I'd lived in an English-speaking country. I had never lived in one. That was all from shadowing. Now, years later, shadowing is still part of my routine. Even fluent speakers can improve. Even native speakers shadow to improve their public speaking. This technique never stops being valuable. It's not just for beginners or intermediate learners. It's for anyone who wants to speak better, sound better, and communicate more effectively. So here's your challenge, starting right now. After this episode ends, find 1 2 to 3 minute clip that you like. It could be a TED Talk, a YouTube video, a podcast segment, anything. Then do 1 10-minute shadowing session with that clip following the 5 steps I outlined. Just once. See how it feels? Notice the immediate improvement in your awareness and your speaking. Then commit to 10 minutes every single day for 30 days. Put it in your calendar. Set a reminder. Make it non-negotiable. You brush your teeth every day for 2 minutes. You can shadow for 10 minutes every day. 30 days of consistent shadowing will create transformation you can hear, feel, and see. Track your progress. Record yourself on day 1, day 15, and day 30. Listen to those recordings and hear the dramatic improvement. Share them with a friend or language partner. Celebrate how far you've come. This evidence of progress is incredibly motivating and keeps you going. And remember, this is not just about sounding like a native speaker. Yes, that's wonderful and it's a great goal. But more importantly, this is about being understood clearly. This is about communicating with confidence. This is about expressing yourself effectively. This is about removing the barrier between what you want to say and how it comes out of your mouth. When you sound clear and natural, people listen to your ideas, not your accent. When you sound confident, people take you seriously. When you sound fluent, opportunities open up. That job interview goes better. That presentation is more impactful. That conversation with a new friend flows naturally. That's the real power of shadowing. I also want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but I like my accent. I don't want to lose my identity. And I completely respect that. Shadowing isn't about losing your identity or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about gaining clarity and control over how you speak. You can have an accent and still sound clear and natural. You can maintain your cultural identity and still have excellent English pronunciation. Shadowing gives you the tools to speak clearly and confidently while still being authentically you. It's about adding skills, not erasing who you are. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with the most heartfelt best wishes for this shadowing journey you're about to begin. I wish you patience as your mouth learns new movements and your brain learns new patterns. I wish you consistency to show up for your 10 minutes every single day, even when you don't feel like it. I wish you the joy of hearing yourself improve week after week. I wish you the satisfaction of nailing a difficult sound you've struggled with for years. I wish you the confidence that comes from knowing you sound clear and natural when you speak. I wish you freedom from the self-consciousness that holds you back in conversations. I wish you the moment when someone compliments your English pronunciation and you realize how far you've come. I wish you conversations where people focus on your ideas, not your accent. I wish you the pride of knowing you put in the work and achieved something remarkable. I wish you the courage to speak up in situations where you previously stayed silent. I wish you flexibility to understand different English accents because you've shadowed various speakers. I wish you the ability to adapt your speaking style to different contexts, formal or casual. I wish you the awareness of the music and rhythm in English that makes communication flow beautifully. I wish you the skill to express emotion and nuance through your tone and intonation. Most importantly, I wish you the belief that your voice matters and deserves to be heard clearly. I wish you the understanding that improving your pronunciation isn't about being perfect, it's about being effective. I wish you compassion for yourself on days when practice feels difficult. I wish you celebration of every small victory along the way. Thank you so much for joining me today on English EdX. Thank you for being part of this incredible community of dedicated learners. Thank you for trusting me to guide you on this journey. If this episode inspired you, please share it with someone who wants to improve their English pronunciation. Let's help each other sound amazing. Remember, 10 minutes is all you need. 10 minutes a day to transform how you sound. 10 minutes to build the speaking skills you've always wanted. You don't need hours. You don't need expensive classes. You just need a clip, your voice, and 10 minutes of focused practice. Your native-sounding English future starts today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Choose your first clip. Do your first shadowing session. Feel the immediate difference. Then come back tomorrow and do it again. Consistency creates transformation. Until next time, stay committed, stay consistent, and remember that you have an amazing voice that deserves to be heard clearly. This is Emma from English EdX saying, believe in your ability to transform your speaking, trust the shadowing process, and step into the clear, confident English speaker you're becoming. Best wishes on your shadowing journey. Now go find that first clip and let's hear your amazing English voice shine. See you in the next episode. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.